Well, now we're into one of the most important videos I've made this year. The top 10 videos are wonderful, but it doesn't give you a true picture, right? Because although a horse maybe didn't make my top 10, it could easily be one of our better horses as the summer progresses, right? It could easily jump up and be a very good horse. And quite frankly, some of the ones that I put near the top may fizzle out and drop off a list like that. But I'm going to grade all of the horses. This isn't a top 10 list. This is all of them graded. We have some injuries I want to talk about, give you guys updates on those, and tell you where I think the horses are. We're going to start with AC Swan. I'm giving her a solid B+. I think she's on her way to the A category, but there has to be criteria to get in there. I just can't give everybody an A, right? You get an A, and you get an A, and you get an A. I know there's lots of people out there that are going to see this video and say, well, Anthony, I think that horse is an A. Well, that's wonderful, but this is Anthony's video. I'm going to tell you what I think of the horses right now, and is as unbiased a view as I can give you right now of all the horses. And AC Swan, a little bit behind everybody, but she's meant to be behind everybody. She had an OCD removed in the fall. It's not a problem that she's behind. She's still been in 2.7, which is faster than most of the horses in Ontario have been right now. Both her and Alibaba are in Ontario right now. We're going to prep them, have them ready to go for the first part of July, and they'll be in the care of Jim Eaton by mid-July. But for right now, they are in Ontario. AC Swan, easily a B+, and on her way to the A category if everything holds. Activation, I'm giving an A, solid A2. I think he's on his way to A+ category again, but hasn't quite reached there. The A+ has to be for the ones that are awesome right now, and I think they're staying there. Their trajectory is heading them in the right direction. Not just at the end of the A, you're like A+, but it could be A- in another month. No. The A+ are the gold standard right now. Those are the ones that have done it right, and I think will continue to do it right. Activation's been in 2.3, last half in 58, but mentally still a little bit of growth to go. So if there is work to be done to see the best form of that horse right now, then how can I give that horse an A+? And in doing that, an A is very, very fair for Activation. I think this horse has got a lot to offer for us this summer, and I can't wait to race him. Mentally, little bit of growth needed, but he's well on his way to getting there. A solid A for Activation. Affection will be our first A+ of the day. She's got it all figured out. Haven't gone anything fast with her yet. We probably will this week. I'll probably school her in 2.3, 2.2 maybe even this week at Northfield Park. But everything perfectly so far, and an easy A+. Alibaba, I'm giving an A+ too. That filly has done it all, has figured it out, understands her work, and wants to be a better horse, and is fast. We're going to have a lot of fun with these Illinois fillies, I think, this summer. This filly right here is most definitely an A+. Antilles Hanover, B+. He hangs out like he's going to get to the A category, but then does something stupid like make a break. So I can't put him into that A category in the way that he is. So I'm going to keep him and hang him out at B+, with the anticipation and the hope he grows into that A level. But right now, I know that I'm going to have no trouble training that horse, schooling that horse in 2.3, 2.2. It won't be a problem at all. What he does with the rest of his speed and his intelligence, turn that down, bud. The rest of his speed or his intelligence, that will be up to him. But for right now, I'm giving Antilles Hanover a B+. Arson is A+, and he has to be. The way he was the other day schooling, it's always wonderful when you take a horse that just felt so green and even a little bit ignorant training down, and then you put them in a position to do everything right in June, let's say, and they do it perfectly. Here's a horse that schooled by himself the other day. 59-3 last quarter, and 27-3, 27-4, and could have went more. He is dialed in right now and ready to rock. Arson has come forward in a huge way the last month. You factor in what I saw the other day, right, and add in his pedigree and the expectations. He is a small horse. Lots of small horses have been fast before. He doesn't have to take on the world. He just has to be a nice horse, and he is there now, most definitely. Arson, A+. Blanton's Blue, I'm giving an A+ to. The other day, I watched him school. He did everything perfectly. No, he didn't go up to the gate perfectly. He was terrified of the gate, but you know what? He did school great. He come off the car. I told Jason Merriman that was going with him, don't let him trot forward. I don't want him getting hot. When they say go, I want you to kind of back him up and let him settle, and that's exactly what he did. So an A+ for Jason on Blanton's Blue, but an A+ for Blanton's Blue for sure. Born to Dance, how don't I give him an A+? He is stupid. I'm going to give him an A because he can get better. I just said I had to do that, so I'm going to give him an A. because he can get better. Mentally, he has to learn to do his work, but he has come so far in such a short time. It would be very hard for you to convince me that this is as good as it gets for him. I think this horse has all the tools in the world, and he's starting to slowly put them together in the right place. So Born to Dance, that's why I can't make him an A+, but it's also why I believe he will get to A+ status. Cowboy by the Sea, I'll get to him in a second. Cherahola, I'm giving her a B. I just think she needs to do more work, and I guess a B+ would be fair because she tries hard. She just has to put more meat on her bones, more muscle from that meat on her bones, then use that and integrate her intelligence to do her work to the best of her ability. She's still got a lot of growing and a lot of work to put in, but she's done it well so far. I mean, I said B, so I'll leave her at B, but I could easily make an argument for a B+ with Cherahola. Cowboy by the Sea, probably one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen and had to report, was such a stupid injury in the stall. Just got cast and got his foot jammed, and he just hurt himself. And I still don't know. There's still no serious prognosis. Well, this is what it is. This is where we're starting from. This is how long it will take him to get back, and this is what he'll likely look like when he gets back. I've had none of that from the vet yet. None. They're still trying to make sure it's stabilized and clean it up and make sure he's healing. Once he starts down that road of healing and rehab, then we can start taking him back over. But until then, right now, it's just trying to mitigate the injury that he had, fix it up best we can, and start to then form some sort of prognosis on the injury itself. So just one of the most heartbreaking things I've been through in my life, most definitely in 2023. Did not know. I'm giving her C. She's got a ton more to do. Mentally, she's not super smart. Physically, she's got a lot more work to put in. Her attitude is good. I'll tell you that about her. But, she's as close to being a stake winner right now as I am to Canada, sitting here at Kalahari Resort in Sandusky, Ohio. She's got a lot of work to do. But I can honestly say that it's not her attitude hindering her in any way. So maybe she will flip that switch and turn the corner and come forward. But for right now, there has to be parameters in place, as I said, and she has to be a C. Don't Talk About Bruno, I'm going to give him a B+. He's got a lot of room to grow just yet. Mentally, physically, that cut is all healed up. He walked out of his stall sound, and if he had to go on Saturday, he could have. But we just chose to go the easier route with him. So he'll start training, continue training. We'll get him schooling in the next 2 weeks, and he'll be ready to go. But a B+ right now for Don't Talk About Bruno. Drebin, I'm going to give an A, a solid A2, because he can grow up a little bit. He can do more. And the problem is that he's still trying to figure out if he wants to. And that corner has to be turned, right? For him to be a serious stake horse, especially in the jurisdiction he's staked to, he's going to have to turn that corner both physically and mentally, put it all together, and use all of the tools God gave him to be a good horse. And he's still at that turning point. But they're all there, all of them. And he looked great yesterday. 2.8 last half and 59 last quarter and 29 on a half-mile track that I wasn't even certain he'd get around. And he most definitely did. So great job by Drebin to turn the corner, but I am going to need to see a little bit more from him. Easy on the Turns is out. She'll remain out until the last week of June, probably. Electric Line is going out to the field. He'll go out again. Same thing, probably until maybe even August 1st for him. Flashfly was great yesterday. A winner in her set for Amy. Very proud of what these Green Shoe fillies, and I think I just did finalize Isa 10 being bred to Green Shoe also. So we're going to put some money, as I said to David Reed, I said if they're worth us keeping, they're worth us putting the right amount of money into to breed them to proper sires. And same goes for, we went Muscle Chrome, we bounced it around, we didn't know where we were going. I think I secured Centurion ATM, who I didn't even know was standing in Ohio. Sugar Valley Farms, Joe McLeod is standing as Centurion ATM. So we are going to breed Muscle Chrome to Centurion ATM, and I believe we are going to breed Green Shoe to Isa 10. And the reason being, our three leading options right now were Green Shoe, Father Patrick, and who was the other one for? Alarm Detector was one that we had talked about for Isa 10, and I just said, who is the best sire for this mare? Turns out it was Green Shoe. So that's where we went to Green Shoe. Now, it's not 100% finalized, but I believe it is for us to get Green Shoe bred to Isa 10. And I was trying to figure out how I got to Eyes of 10 and Green Shoe. It was because of Flashfly. So very proud of Flashfly yesterday. She did her work well and looked very intelligent. George of the Jungle was good also. He's maybe a week behind those horses. He got a little sick, and it looks like we're going to be able to coax him into his 2-year-old season, and he'll fit in nicely. I think we have a pretty good handle on the stuff bothering him. He's got a splint that bothers him. We changed his shoes. We worked on his knees. Michelle is doing a great job. Johnny has done a great job with this horse, getting him there. And I believe Drebin, as I said, was an A. Easy in the turns, Electric Limousine, Flashfly, I'm going to give an A- to, because there is a lot of growth for her, and she will grow, but I have to be fair. An A- was fair for her. And George of the Jungle, again, I'm going to give him an A-. I almost said B+, but he's made his way onto the A program now. His mind is straight ahead. He understands what he's supposed to do, and that is a massive component to having an effective 2-year-old trotter. So George of the Jungle, an A- also. Goldbug Hanover, she still is in limbo. And here's my take on Goldbug, and this is what I told the vet. If she's not going to make it back with her palate issue as a 100% racehorse, I don't care. She's still worth way more than we paid for her as a broodmare. So I'm not going to waste our time and her time trying to be a horse if she can't get there, but I do not have that confirmation from the vet. She said she could. It's getting better. The palate is getting better. It was really ulcerated and entrapped, and it was just a mess in there. And it's now starting to look better. So we're not to a point where I can say, or the vet can say, I don't like what I see still. She is improving. But worst case scenario, we breed her and she's worth a ton more money than she ever was worth for what we paid for her. So really, it doesn't matter what happens with Goldbug. Either she gets to the races and can compete at 100%, or we simply breed her in 2024 and she's worth a fortune as a broodmare. Not just Locatelli. Gaines Hanover is in that family, and all that first, second, third dam is all packed, loaded. Then you throw in a Green Shoe, sister to those horses, in foal 2X, whatever top stallion that is. You do the math. So there's no losing on Goldbug at this point. Great bet. I'm going to give an A- to. I like what I see from this horse. I almost said B+, but he understands his work, and he's working at doing it as best he can. So how can't I put him on the A- list? How can I do that? There's still more to come. He has to get faster and better, but he's just not there yet. Green Tea, I'll give an A+ to, but Green Tea is getting turned out. Dr. Rucker, nice man, a client of ours, he has made the decision that he wants to turn him out and leave him down in Kentucky. I believe Bob Stewart is going to get him. So all the luck in the world to him. He is going to leave our barn as an A+ horse because he's fast. I guess A+ would be unfair because mentally still a little unstable. I am going to have to call him an A. A+ would be a lie. It would be unfair because mentally he has to grow up, but he's as fast as any A+ horse we have. I can tell you that right now. Gypsy Hill is an A+, does everything perfectly, uses all the tools he has at his disposal properly. This is the guy. This is the top of the heap for Ohio trotting colts right now, and there are 3 of them that are just off his flank and coming hard, but he still does more than enough to keep them at bay. Just a really, really, really nice horse. Hallie in the Clouds, I'm going to give her a B+ because mentally and physically she's got a lot to do. And she has the body to do it, but she hasn't started down that road yet. So it would be unfair for me to just say, oh, she's an A, easy. I think she will be an A+. I have no reason to believe she won't be. But she does have to continue down that road. So I'm going to give her a B+ right now. I'm fancy like. I'm giving an A- too because she kind of is at the top of her game physically. Kind of understands everything mentally. Could understand more and could do more. That doesn't make her lazy or sour, just a little bit immature. So I'm going to go with a solid A- on I'm fancy like insider trading. How can't you give her an A+? That was not her fault yesterday, and it wasn't Amy's fault. The gate opened up, spooked her. She spun around, dumped Amy out of the bike, right? Landed on her butt. She's fine. Horse runs loose for 3 laps. Has the mental fortitude to say, okay, this is not cool. Goes up to the fence, stops. Everybody comes up and grabs her. She's happy. She's not loose anymore. Amy comes over. We opt to train her. Now, she's been loose for 3 laps. Walk her in the field for a second. They open the gate up. Once she sees the other horses go up to the gate and she understands what's going on, she comes up to the gate herself. Goes out of there, goes her mile, and goes the fastest mile of her life. 2:06 last half, 59 last quarter in 30 seconds. Or even 29 maybe, because she gained on Mario. How impressive is that? Like that's exactly what you want to see over time. She did it in moments. Went from terrified, then running loose, having one of the worst days of her life, potentially, and then just calming down and saying, all right, settle, and going out and putting on that performance. That is the epitome of A+. Insider trading couldn't have impressed me more yesterday, both her and my wife. My wife for getting up, dusting herself off and saying, all right, and literally getting back on the horse, so to speak, and literally jumping back on the horse and going out and doing their job. So top marks to the filly and top marks to my wife for getting back on the way you go. So great job. International Spy is out in the field. He'll remain out in the field. I'm going to say if we're bringing horses in first part of August, last part of July, then he can hitch a ride, so to speak, and that's exactly what we'll do with International Spy. Lots of time for him to fill out his body to cool down. Irresistible Sun, top of the heap, A+ across the board. Could be. He's one of those three that are nipping on the heels of Gypsy Hill, and looks very, very good in doing so. J-Port Beach Boy was great yesterday. I'm going to give him an A- because I still see lots of growth there, but he's coming and look good doing it. Levesque in Action, I'm going to give her a B+. Growing. I'm very, very happy with what I've seen from Levesque in Action. She's doing her work well. She could do it better, and I believe she will, but for now, she's a B+. Lonely Lakewood, a solid A, because I think he could improve, and I think he's trying to. So I could easily make him an A+, but I think he's going to get better. So if he's going to get better, how can I make him currently an A+? He's a solid A, and I think we're going to have a ton of fun with this guy in the very, very near future. Lover's Play is one of the horses that get injured also. She kicked the wall, or also got cast potentially, I guess. Cut herself. Pretty good gash on the inside and outside of her pastern, and there was some ligament issues in there. You know, how long will it take her to heal? I'm not sure. I don't know, but she will. She will heal, and not near as serious as it turned out as serious as Cowboy by the Sea, but eerily similar and equally, not equally, somewhat similar concerning. She will recover and hopefully race in the middle to latter part of 2023, where Cowboy won't race until 2024, hopefully. So that's where we're at with Lover's Play. I find it really hard to turn the page on these two injuries. I really, really do. It's really heartbreaking. Especially for a Cowboy. Not so much with Lover's Play, because I suspect she will come back quite quickly, I hope, but definitely with Cowboy. I don't want to dwell on the bad. It's a very positive list. McPaisley, put her behind the gate for the first time, won her set wire to wire, 2-6 last half and 59, a great mile from her. Very, very happy with what I saw from that filly yesterday. Where are we at here? Playing McPaisley, Mel Gibswan, A+. He's doing it perfect right now. Now it's just to continue that progression until we get to the qualifiers. He looks great right now. Memory and Imagination, a solid A, because I think he will improve. He has to improve his appetite. Funny, he's a nephew of Brace for Landing, and eerily similar in their approach to their life. Fast, quick, picky at the feed bin, and that cost him some muscle. But again, starting to pick it up now and look really, really good. Militant, I'm giving him an A+. I love what I've seen from this horse. He's figured it out. He's doing his work great. He was hanging on that left line with the head pull. Only took him a start or two. Come off there, straighten up, do his work great. I am giving him an A+. That might be surprising for some people to hear, but he deserves an A+. Very proud of what this horse has done and very happy to see what he's accomplished. So Militant, an A+. Mounts for All, I'm giving him I have to give him an A+. He's done his work well. He's trotted well. He's fast. He was just a little sick the other day. It's not his fault. I have to give him an A+ also. The horse is doing very good things. No Chance in Hill got injured. Very minor tear to the left hind suspensory. We're going to work on that. Will he be back this year? Maybe later on, maybe. But it may be beneficial if we do get to a point where, okay, what are we waiting for the rest of the season? It may be beneficial just to work on him a little bit and then kick him out in the field. I don't know. I'm going to work on the vet with that to figure out what we're doing with No Chance in Hill, but he will recover from the injury he has. Snap You, another filly. Her knees are quite sore right now and bothering her. I trained her in 2-6 last half and 59. She's there. If we had to push, she's there, but I think it makes way more sense to make sure those knees are proper. So As I said to Mike, maybe a couple of weeks off. He's got that water aqua treadmill in his right beside our barn is an aqua treadmill set up now in his clinic, so she can go on the aqua treadmill. After a couple of weeks, probably 2-3 weeks, we'll inject those knees with whatever Mike thinks is the best, maybe Noltrex or something, I don't know. That'll be up to him. And then we'll make a decision. Okay, where do we go from here? She's here now, but I think if we continue to push, she's not going to be here, and that wouldn't be wise on our part. So I think do the right thing by her, but I think you'll definitely see her in 2023. Paycheck Princess, I'm still giving an A-2. Still could do more, but she's definitely a million times better than she was 2 months ago. She's been in 2.6, 2.7. She's coming forward. She will school this week in Northfield Park. Pickpocket A+. That is the gold standard right there. He is the best horse we have, in my opinion. I think that he has put it all together perfectly and is extremely fast. He will be qualifying Thursday in Northfield Park. Prince Charmer, I'm giving an A-2. He made the list because I think there's a way forward for this horse to even not just make the races. I think this could be a sire stake horse. He felt so strong the other day training. I would love to see him continue down this path. He looked fantastic. Pull the Shoes is an A+, not just because I love her. I think she's one of my favorite horses. I'm human. I have favorites too. I try my best to take a step back and just be unbiased. But I have favorites too, and this is one of my favorite. Her and Lover's Play were two of my favorite horses to go with. Lover's Play is on the IL right now, but Pull the Shoes is not. And I love this filly. I think from where she's come from to where she is impressive. How hard she works, how vicious she can be in her training miles. I don't know how good she'll be overall. I don't know where her ceiling is, but I guarantee you we will see it this year. She is a really, really nice filly. A+. Punch the Clock, A+. All we're waiting for is sheer muscle. She's figured it out. She's passing horses. She wants to do her work. Again, I think this is going to be one of our best horses. Pretty hard not to give her an A+, especially considering she almost died at Christmas time. This is a very good horse, and we are lucky, very lucky to have her. Purple People Eater, I'm giving an A-2. She's got some work to do, both in her attitude and her workout, but is fast. She'll give Sedona Hill a run for her money between now and the next generation, but I think ultimately Sedona Hill's posture, the way she does her work, the way she goes about life, will ensure that she's probably the one to go to the next generation. But Purple People Eater is going to give her a run for her money, I believe. But as of right now, I think an A- is fair for her. I do see improvement in her future. Ready for Landing, I'm going to give a... I almost said B+, but he was just so good on the weekend. I'm going to give him an A-. I like what I've seen from him. There is a long way to go with this guy, but he can just turn it on so fast and he's so strong. I think it would almost be unfair just to say B+. I got to give him an A+. Or I got to give him an A-. I just have to. Ready for Landing is an A- today. Rito's Lady's going out to the field for no particular reason. She's not going to state. She's not a stake filly for this year. I think she's going to be very, very good for us in the fall. I'm going to give her a solid 2 months out in the field. Rito's Lady, June, July in the field, August 1st, she's coming back to see us. And that's the plan with Rito's Lady. Royal Emeralds, A+. This filly's done everything great. It was almost a travesty that I didn't get her on the top 10. It was very hard to make that last cut of those two horses. Royal Emeralds was one of them. And I found it very difficult to do, but I thought fair was fair, and I did it. So Royal Emeralds, a solid A+ this week. Seasons of Love, pretty hard not to give her an A+ after that performance at Grand River Raceway. And then the endorsement of Jonathan Drury just saying, she's a race car. That's all he said to me. What a sweet, sweet filly. She was awesome on Saturday. Sedona Hill, I'm giving an A+ to. She's figured it all out, put it all together. I'm going to school her, and I want to go with her this week. I want to see what this filly can do right now, because she looks absolutely awesome on the track. Sithwin Digit was good. A-. She's put it all together. She belongs in the A category. I could go a mile and 2-2 with her right now. Where will she be in the summer? I don't know. How many gifts did God give her? I don't know. We're going to find out this summer. She is very, very close to qualifying. Really happy with this filly. Sunset Acres Girl, I'm giving an A, because she can get better. She doesn't have to get 1 ounce better to do very good in Michigan this year, but I'm giving her an A overall because she does have some improvement to do and will but I'm very, very happy with her. Sweeney, same thing, an A, solid A. He's on his way forward. I think this could be a Sire State colt, and at the very least, he's going to be a real fun Buckeye horse to race. But right now, Sweeney is a solid A. 3rd and 6 going out to the field, much like Rito's Lady, much like Electric Line. We're just going to give them some time to grow up. He doesn't look like he wants to be a racehorse just yet, so let's wait until he does. And that's exactly where we're at with 3rd and 6. Time is on my side. Is going to be, I'm giving him an A. It would be unfair to give him an A+. There is going to be advancements there. He does have to grow up, fill out. He does have to go fast. I'm giving him an A, but I fully expect by a month from now, we're going to be talking A+ with this guy. He looked great at Grand River. Vaquero Blue Chip is an A-. A lot of work to do mentally still. Physically, he understands his work. Mentally, he's got to put it all together. He was really close to me saying B+, but he's just so darn fast. I am going to rank him at A-. Venice Blue Chip, A+. You don't get any better than her. She is the pickpocket of the Philly Pacers. She does everything right. She is super fast, and the sky is the limit for this filly. Victory Blue Chip, I'm giving him a B+. Tons of room for him to grow up and move, and he appears to be coming forward. I'm interested to see what he's going to become as a 2-year-old in this summer, but for now, I'm giving him a B+. Watch your mouth. Pretty hard not to give him an A+ the way he looked. I'm tempted to say A because I know he can get better, but he was just so damn good on Grand River on the open house day. How can I make him an A+? He looked awesome. Looked very, very good. So I am forced. That's a tricky one, a little gray area there, but I am going to give him an A+ just because he was really, really good on Saturday. And Widespread Panic, I'm giving a B+ to. Best training mile of his entire life was on Saturday. So sky's the limit for this guy. Lots to offer. Mentally, bit of a midget, but he is coming forward in a big way, and that was an impressive mile the other day. Winter Bells, A+. She does everything right. Amy's doing the right thing with her too. I know it frustrates Amy that we have her ears plugged in a snake cord on her and it's hard to generate speed, but I keep telling her I don't want to see speed yet because she's a shadow play, and I'm very worried when we turn her on, it won't be as easy as just turning her off. There won't be any light switch. So very fast, half and 58 apiece at Grand River yesterday, and was awesome. Super impressed with this filly, and she is easily an A+. So there, that is as fair and honest as I can give you an opinion on every horse. We talked about the injuries, we talked about the pluses, the minuses, what I need to see from everybody, what I've seen from everybody, and what that made them. So those are all your videos. They're all done now for the weekend. My boy Ollie played great today in Sandusky, earned his way into the finals tomorrow, and earned his way out of a day of school in Guelph, Ontario, because it's a long weekend and his team made the finals. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go to the water park with Ollie, and then when I'm done playing, I'm going to go to Northfield, drive the horses, come back, watch the ball tournament tomorrow. We're both going to go to race Swinging Senorita and then head home after that. So with that, I'll let you go. I hope you guys had a great weekend because, as you can tell, I most certainly have. Take care.